I play a game like that while I'm waiting for you.
3, 4, open the door, hurry for heaven's sake. I count each step you take while I'm waiting for you.
5, 6, my heart does tricks as I picture all your charms.
7, 8, you're at the gate and you walk into my arms.
Oh, 9, 10, kiss me again, tell me you get a thrill, just as I hope you will while I'm waiting for you.
So I went to all the scrap dealers and I made deals with them and said to them, I need these spares, and I explained to them why.
7, 8, you're at the gate and you walk into my arms.
Dis nie sommer net iets wat gister gebeur het nie. Hierdie ding kom nou al 'n lang pad. En as ek sê 'n lang pad, is dit 'n lang pad met harde werk, vuil hande, lang ure, vroegoggenduur, laat aande by die huis, partykeer slaap jy hier oor. Geleentheid gee en dit gaan nou lewendig op die lug. Wat ons nou hierso sê is alles lewendig op die lug en ons staan daar, ek kyk vir Les, ons gaan mekaar die duime opgee en dan gaan hy sy baie bekende fluit wat hy vir almal gefluit het en elke drywer het sy unieke fluit gehad. Nou ja Les, ek is reg, as jy reg is, ons kan hom gooi.
Thank you.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110, 111, 112, 113, 114, 115, 116, 117
Firstly, thank you very much for coming to one of the Steam trains this morning. Welcome. Thanks very much for your support. Much appreciated. And I'm going to tell you a little bit story about this locomotive. We inherited this locomotive in 2010. Well, in 2010 it fell over actually. It had a derailment. The whole left-hand side of this locomotive was a complete write-off. And there was a lot of repairs, including boiler repairs, that needed to take place. We stripped the locomotive down. It was condemned. It was destined for the scrap heap, but we took it in hand and we stripped it down, and we have been rebuilding this locomotive for the last 5 years. As I mentioned earlier on when I was chatting with Andre, we have put in 12,480 hours of labour into this locomotive. It's a lot of time, it's a lot of hard work. My good friend Mike standing in front here, he will know. He used to pop over in the mornings, he still does, and hello Labs, and how's it Mike? And so he knows we were always here, you know, doing this work. So the Class 15F, as we mentioned earlier, there was 255 classes of 15F built in South Africa between 1938, ordered in South Africa between 1938 and 1948. And this was one of the very later models because the numbers ended at 30, it started at 2902 and they ended at 3156, and this is 3117. So it was one of the very later models that came out in 1946 actually, because that's the year of build, but she was put into service in 1947. It's been a long time. A lot of people have been asking me, what are you going to name your locomotive? Now during the years, with the first two locomotives that came into South Africa, the one in Cape Town, the 040 and Natal down in Natal itself, they were ordered by the then general manager to name the locomotive, give it a name, any name, doesn't matter really what it was. It happened, but thereafter it didn't really take on with drivers on the railways. And when Mr. Watson and Mr. Day came on board in the 30s, they then said each locomotive needs to be named after a town or a city. And so they were named after towns and cities. And there's still a number of those locomotives, very few actually, that are still around with the original town names on. Like Kroonstad, Brakpan, 3052's got Brakpan, that's standing at Sandstone Estates, it's been plinth there. And I acquired these City of Bloemfontein plates from a very dear friend of mine. We refer to him as the Professor, because he is truly the only professor on steam that there is today. He is here somewhere. And they were originally from the Royal Train in 47. So there were only 6 sets that we ever made, and Lucas was kind enough to let me buy it after a lot of arm twisting and bribing and lots of corruption and all those nice things, you know. So I got them. The name, I didn't want to name, after the town names, a lot of locomotives are named after the drivers' wives. I didn't want to do that either. And so it's really been a long time thinking of what name I'm going to eventually come up with. And I came up with the perfect name for this locomotive, I believe. And I've shared it with my directors and they wholly agree with me. Because this locomotive is truly one of a kind. It's the only running Class 15F in South Africa. But it's the only Class 15F in South Africa that's ever had a restoration done to it like we have done to this locomotive. And there was a lot of trials and tribulations that we went through, and a lot of times where I had hands full of hair, my own hair, and we did it. We finished it. I've got a fantastic team of people that have worked with me. Just to give you an idea, I've got Jean, Julian, and Billy standing over here. These are the paint experts. The paint job that you see on this locomotive is thanks to these 3 guys in my team here, 2 guys and the lady. Thank you very much. I've had a lot of work from Rafiki and Memory. They're around here somewhere. Kirambo, Asante Sanabwana, Asante, and Memory. She's put in lots and lots of hours of work here. Thank you very much. And then I've got one guy who's rather camera shy, and that's young Mr. Gert Botha. He is our chief chief of everything. And Gert is an expert on boilers. He started his time on the railways, and he went from the railways, he went to Dunn Locomotive Services. He served a lot of time on Dunn's, And he came back and he was on the mines, and then he came around here one day and we pulled him inside the site here by the scruff of his neck and on his ear, and we said, right, get home and start working. And this locomotive, when it fell over, it sustained a lot of boiler damage over there where you see the steam sort of leaking out. There's a whole lot of flexible stays in. It broke all the heads of the stays off. And the boiler inspectors condemned the boiler. And when Cat started chatting with the boiler inspectors and told them where he is, who he is, where he comes from, they said, okay, let's try, and you can try and fix it. We did the work, we phoned them, they came back, and the boiler inspector stood there and he looked at it, and you could just see the look on his face, and he said, in all my years of being a boiler inspector, I've never seen such amazing repair work on a boiler. And we put it together, and of course she's never leaked a drop, and that's thanks to Kat. So thank you very much to my team that has been with me. Thank you. I'm now going to introduce our directors. We have Matombi here, who's one of our new directors in the company and the shareholders. We have our chairman on this side, and also one of the major shareholders in the company. Here we go. What does he say?
Riding with my gal beside me, I'm as happy as can be. Ho-lo-dee, ho-lo-dee, ho-lo-dee. I asked her if she'd marry me, she blushed and then said yes, sirree. Ho-lo-dee, ho-lo-dee, ho-lee-dee-day. I got a date with Parson Jones right down across the railroad track. I can't wait until he ties the knot and we'll be riding back. Then I'll be riding with the wife beside me, just as happy as can be. Riding back, then I'll be riding with my wife beside me, just as happy We'll ride through dark and stormy weather into skies of blue. For I'll be riding with my love beside me, just as happy as can be. Oh, Lordy.